Okay. All right. Let me turn that off there. And we're good. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Soul Commodore here. We're back. We were on a little bit of a break just due to traveling around for Christmas and all that. But we are back now. Let me turn this music down a little bit. Just a tad bit. There we go. That should be fine. But yeah, I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. Of course, New Year's Eve is tomorrow, so I hope you had some fun plans for that. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday, regardless of what you celebrate or if you don't celebrate anything. I still hope you had a good time. Yeah, and it's good to be back. Just gonna do a few housekeeping things because I've been gone. We do have a few new things right here. Okay, we have one new thing because the one thing hasn't been approved yet. I have a new emote that I created that I think everyone will enjoy. That has to do with my username on here. But that hasn't gone through yet. It hasn't been approved yet, so we're just waiting for that. But in the meantime, we do have a new channel reward. Hey, Jake from the Woods, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it, my brother. For 2 months. Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you. My goodness. You didn't have to do that. But, yeah, Jake, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. What was I saying? Oh, yes, Jake very graciously gifted us with a sub here, and I lost my train of thought. But what I was going to say is that there's a new channel reward that you can redeem. It's pretty pricey, but I mean, hey, if you watch this stream up, you might be able to redeem it. Basically, it's a speed paint, which means if you redeem that, I have to drop whatever it is that I'm working on, and I have to do a painting or maybe a drawing. I might have to reword that actually. I'm still going to call it speed paint, but basically I have to rework a piece or work on a piece. I have 10 minutes to start and complete a piece. So that should be fun. That should be fun. But yeah, that's the housekeeping that I had to start out with. Another little bit of housekeeping is the last time we were together, we were working on this drawing here. I'm working on this drawing piece. I've been looking at this thing for a few days now, and I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, you could redeem it right now, and I would have to drop what I'm doing and do that. Anyway, I was looking at this piece, and the way that I approach art is a lot the same way that I approach. That was great grammar right there. It's very much the same way that I approach working out. When my dad would all right, Jake. You got it, buddy. Okay, so the timer will start once I get the new piece up on the wall. Like once I get the canvas up on the wall, that's when the timer will start. So we're going to just place this over here off camera. Where can I put this? We'll put it right here. This is kind of out of the way. Okay. And I'm totally unprepared for this, but that has a painting on it. Which one of these doesn't have a painting on it? This one doesn't have a painting on it. There we go. Beautiful. This is going to be a small little piece, but you know what? For the purposes of the challenge, I think it'll work. it'll just be a smaller piece, you know? So, I will get back to what I was saying about that drawing as soon as we finish this, because Jake very graciously redeemed speed paint. So we have 10 minutes to finish, basically start and finish this painting. And I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what the subject matter is. I don't know any of that. But we just have to start something and then finish it. And whatever we have at the end of 10 minutes is what we got. Yes, Jake, get hype. Let's go. All right. So, I'm going to set my watch to give me an alarm in 10 minutes. So, it is 6:09 now, our time. So, at 6:19, actually it'll be 6:20 because it'll be, yeah. So we're going to turn that on. All right. Let's get our paint together. And then we're just going to have to figure out what it is that we're painting on the fly. Because that's the fun in this whole exercise, you know? So, what are we going to paint? I'm going to bring the camera in a little closer so you guys will have a better view. There we go. Okay, and the clock has officially started now. So we got 10 minutes to paint something real fast. Gotta go fast. All right. And like I was saying, I was starting to say something regarding that drawing that we had up when we started, but I'll finish that thought later. Right now we got serious business. But I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. And if you're still on holiday, I hope you're still enjoying it, having a good time. Feel free to drop in the chat what it is that you did with your holiday. I'm always interested to know what people do, maybe the different customs they have, different traditions. I find all that stuff fascinating. I've long said that sometimes I feel like I should have been an anthropologist studying human culture, but instead I paint things. So, all right, we are going to grab this brush here. We've already lost a minute because I'm taking my sweet time getting this paint on this palette, but that's all right. I'm confident that 8 minutes will be enough. All right. Okay. So here we go. Got a nice green going here. serve as a nice base for our ground. You know, let's work on a bit of a sky, shall we? Which we probably should have started with, but I got a little overzealous. So yeah, our Christmas was really, really nice. It started a couple of weeks ago. We went to my girlfriend's dad's side of the family for their Christmas. And then for Christmas Day, we spent that with my immediate family, which was really, really nice because I haven't seen all the members of my family at once for a very long time. So that was very, very nice. Be able to spend a couple of days with them. And then on the, what would it have been? The 27th, we spent time with my girlfriend's mom's side of the family. So that was very, very nice. Okay. We gotta get a move on here. We've got 6 minutes left. And I want to thank Jake for doing this, because this is going to be a nice little exercise. Because I've never really painted anything this fast before. So this will be a good little gauge of my skills. Now we'll blend that in with some white. I could have used a bigger brush for this, but that's okay. Jake, did you stream today? I noticed there was a couple of times like we would be on the road traveling, and I would get like an email notification that you had went live, and I wished I could have tuned in. But did you go live today? Nice, nice. How'd your stream go? How did your stream go? Ah, 4 minutes. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Crunch time, baby. Ooh, very nice. Very nice. That must be kind of relieving to you that there's no recent deaths and that everything seems to be going smoothly with your run. In case any of you don't know, that Jake is doing a Nuzlocke run in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. Okay. This grass and everything is going to be very, very messy, but it's a speed paint, so that's fine. Especially considering we've got 3 minutes left. kind of want to get some texture in here. Okay. So this harkens back to, you know, when I was in school. We would do these types of challenges all the time. Okay. So now I want to put maybe some sort of a old structure here that has faced the ravages of time. One minute. Less than 1 minute, really. But that's okay. I feel very tense because I know my my alarm's going to go off any minute now. Haha, there it is. There it is. All right. So that's 10 minutes. I would say that this right now is a good baseline for a painting. It's not anything that I would consider done, but you know what? We've got a good base for 10 minutes in. And I think we got like good shades of like a building here that's in ruin, and of course our grass and our sky. So you almost said paint the temple of time. Well, you see, Jake, we got that we got that that ESP. we know what each other is thinking. But yeah, we got a good baseline here. So that was fun. I got to do that more often. Well, I mean, it depends on people getting that channel reward. But overall, like, I should probably do that more often. My hands are already like just filthy from like moving that one drawing. But you almost said paint the temple of time. Well, we're almost there. We're almost there. All right, so that was fun. That was successful, I think. This is a success. It's messy, and honestly, like, there are a lot of things about this that I would rework, and I probably will rework it later. But you know, for a 10-minute painting, it's not bad. It's not bad. Personally, I'm a fan of the sky. I really like how the sky turned out. So, we're gonna put this aside to let it dry. It's very important to let paint dry. And then I will go get the drawing that I was talking about, and we'll continue our discussion on that. So, oh yeah, it's only redeemable once per stream. At least that's the way I thought I saved it. It may not be. But yeah, it's that's just redeemable once per stream. Maybe if I'm doing like a longer stream, which won't be today, but if I'm doing a longer one, it might be twice per stream. But yeah, let me go get this drawing, and then we'll have a little chit chat about it. But once again, thank you, Jake, for redeeming that, and thank you for like loading up on 5,000 channel points. Thank you for watching so much. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so this drawing here, this is what we were working on last time, right? And I've taken this time to like look this over and think about how I feel about it. I'm just going to throw it down over here again. And as I was saying from the jump, as I was saying from the jump, I try to treat my artwork like I treat working out. I work out, and like my dad always taught me this too, but when I'm lifting heavy, if I don't feel like I'm getting a good workout, like if I'm just not into it, especially using like heavy weight, it's better to just be like, you know what? No, we're ending this workout. We'll try again tomorrow. Because when you're not invested in the workout, you start making mistakes. You start getting sloppy. And I'm not talking about like, okay, well, I'm not really motivated to, you know, do this particular workout, but we're going to push through it. That's fine. I'm talking about the workout as a whole. Like, you're just not jazzed to be at the gym, or if you're at home, like you're just not excited to be doing what it is that you're doing. So he always said, and still always says, like, just drop it, because that's when you hurt yourself, because you're not paying attention, you're not invested, and all of a sudden you're dropping weights on yourself because you're just not paying attention, right? And that is a similar approach that I take to my artwork. If I'm not really feeling anything, instead of like struggling through a piece, I'll just put it away, and I might come back to it later, or I might just leave it alone, or I might transform it into something completely different. And that's how I'm feeling about that drawing right now. Like, it's got some good elements, but I'm not really feeling the way that I should feel about it, you know? So as a result, for now, we're going to put that drawing away. We're just going to put it on the back burner, we're going to leave it alone, and instead, we're going to work on something completely different. You're over halfway back to 5K. Wow. So you've been watching a lot. Well, I appreciate the patronage, sir. I still have to figure out what I'm looking at when I'm talking to people. Do I look at my camera? Do I look at where the chat is? I don't know. We'll figure it out one day. But yeah, I'm just not feeling that drawing right now. So instead of like struggling through it and coming up with something that I'm just not that excited about, we're just going to do something completely different. Something that I am excited about. So I'm going to throw up my Be Right Back screen just so I can get this in place, because this is kind of limited space, but I'm going to need a lot of space to get this in here. So bear with me. We'll only be gone for about a minute or two, during which, you know, grab yourself a snack, grab yourself some treats, grab yourself a drink, go to the bathroom, do whatever it is you need to do some push-ups. I don't know. But we'll be back here in just a minute or two, so just bear with me. All right. Cool. So, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for waiting. Glad to see you back. So this is what we're going to be working on. This thing. This canvas, if you'll remember from a number of streams ago, like a large number of streams ago, we stretched this canvas. I showed you how to stretch a large canvas. And this thing didn't have any paint on it or anything. And this bad boy is 6 feet by 4 feet. And it's I've got it pinned up to the wall via the excess canvas that's on the back, because I didn't trim any of that, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because it's going to be much easier just having it pinned up like this. I'm going to shift this computer out a bit, just so I can shift the camera back some more, so we can get a better view of just how big this canvas is. You know. So just bear with me as I do this. So yeah, big canvas. I doubt we're going to be able to get all of it on camera here, but that's okay. So yeah, and I look very tiny standing next to it, but that's okay. First things first, before we get started working on this though, because this is a very warm sweater, I'm actually going to put on a t-shirt, because working on this thing is going to take quite a bit. So I'm just going to step off camera because nobody needs to see me change my shirt. But yeah, we're going to work on this beast of a painting. And what's fun about it is I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with it yet. I know the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to throw in the sky. But beyond that, I don't know. I don't even have a reference image in mind to pull from. All I know is that I'm going to start this piece by I'm just going to start this piece by throwing in a sky. But yeah, so I think we'll get started with that now. Where did my blue paint go? Did I throw it back down here? I think I did. Bless you. That was just my girlfriend sneezing. Just so y'all don't think that I live with a bunch of ghosts. Because let me tell you something, I would not tolerate that. I would not be living here. Alright. Okay. So, we got our paint together. We got our big brush together, which has seen better days. I might have to get a new big brush because I left a little too much paint in this for a little bit too long, and the rubbing alcohol got most of it out, but still not quite to the level that I want. So, come over here and we'll just start throwing paint on the canvas. Yeah, I don't know if this brush is going to work. But hey, we'll try it. Oop. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll make kind of a pinkish sky. Why not? I accidentally got some red on the brush, but that might do some interesting things. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I put enough, that brush isn't picking up enough paint, so we're just going to soak it in some water, and we're going to use another brush. I was worried that was going to happen, but no sense in dwelling on it. Just move on. Get a different brush, and we'll use that. Also, I can already see that, like, you can't really see this top corner that I'm working in, but, you know, that's just part of the limitations of the space in here. Once I get a 2-camera setup, doing larger scale paintings like this one will be easier. But we just don't have that setup yet. So right now I'm just trying to get as much water out of this brush as possible. This particular painting is going to be a workout too, because my girlfriend, her brother, and his girlfriend went and played some badminton today. And yesterday, her brother and I went and did some rock climbing, which I've never done before. So I'm a little bit sore, which should make this a very interesting exercise. You know, being sore and also trying to lay paint on a canvas. Now, when this painting is complete, it will officially be the largest painting that I've ever done. I've never done something this large before. So this is going to be a very, very fun exercise, I think. And additionally, I don't usually do paintings on the canvas when the canvas is already stretched. So that's also going to make this very a fascinating exercise. I wonder if I want this sky to be a little bit more red. I don't know. We'll try it. I do like that red, actually. Red with some blue mixed in. Sort of a sunset vibe. This would have been nicer to do with my larger brush, but again, I think I might have ruined that brush by accident. So I might have to retire it, unfortunately. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some of these brush strokes out. We need a little bit more blue. So we're gonna get a little bit more blue. Oh. See what I mean? Even squatting down is a little bit more difficult today because everything's sore. But that's all right. No pain, no gain, right? So just like the other paintings, what we're really doing here is really just laying down a base upon which to build the rest of the painting. That's our main goal with what we're doing here. You know? I'm really digging this color. Right now I'm just laying some white on the, laying a lot of white on the canvas. Because that'll help us blend a little bit later. Yeah. We'll continue with this more deeper purplish color up here with the mix with more blue. But yeah, I said from the at the top of the thing, I hope that everybody had a wonderful holiday. I took a little mini vacation from streaming because again we were traveling around and it was going to be ridiculous trying to get set up and everything to stream where I was going. So I just decided to take a break. I hope you all missed me. I missed you all. I missed talking to you, hanging out. Hearing what's going on in your lives. Okay. Oops. That's okay. We'll soften that up a bit. And just blend right on the canvas just like that. And we're going to need a little bit more white. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. We're going to need a lot more white. Well, that's annoying. Let's see if I can get this off. I didn't mean to get this paint on me, but you know what? It happens sometimes. And like I've said before, rubbing alcohol does wonders for getting paint out of clothes. So keep that in mind. Well, out of fabrics, I should say. Not just clothes. So, here we go. Get back to the canvas. Laying in some more of this color. I know for me, this Christmas was really, really nice. And I think part of that was being able to, like I said, be able to getting to see my entire immediate family. Like, I got to see my younger brother and his girlfriend, my older brother. I didn't get to see his wife. And I didn't get to see my nieces. Because they were just busy when my older brother came over. But my nephews were there, and we got to chat a little bit. And living so far away from them, sometimes you forget just how much they're growing. So that was cool to see. It was awesome to see them, and got to meet my younger sister. I got to meet my younger sister's boyfriend for the first time, so that was cool. I liked him. So, but doing all that, and like, I got to play some classic video games with my dad. It was just a very, very nice Christmas. It's probably in all honesty, the nicest Christmas that I've had since my mom passed away, and that was, I think it's gonna be 6 years ago now. Back in early 2016. But it was a really, like, that was the first time that I felt like Christmas since she passed away. I mean, there have been other nice Christmases, but this was the first one that was like, okay, we're kind of, this is what Christmas is supposed to feel like, And it was a really, really nice feeling. Because, like I said, I haven't felt it in quite a long time. It also didn't hurt that I got to spend like a couple of days in my hometown, because usually I don't get to do that. But this time we were able to go down for a number of days, which was really nice. Really nice. Okay, I want to get some of this paint, this white paint, incorporated before it all dries on me. This will probably end up being some clouds here, to be honest. But yeah, it was just a very, very nice Christmas. I didn't get to see my extended family all that much. Just because, to be on the safe side for COVID, they decided not to have like a big get-together, but hopefully next year we can all get together again, because I've got a pretty large family. Like, my family, my dad has 8 siblings. We only grew up with 6 of them, but he has 8 siblings, and my mom has 5. So both sides of the family are fairly large. We've had some losses over the past couple of years, unfortunately. Some members of the family have died and passed on, but it's still wonderful to see those of them that are still with us, and to celebrate and appreciate them. I'm liking how this is turning out so far. This painting's going to be big. I mean, it is big already, but man, oh man. I'm excited with how this is turning out. Okay, over on this side, I want to make things over here a little bit more red, as you can see. Again, in case you're wondering why it might be worth it to go buy rolls of canvas instead of buying pre-stretched canvas and then just building the frames yourself, do you have any idea how much a 6 foot by 4 foot painting would cost to get it pre-made? That is going to be a steep bill. Whereas buying the canvas ahead of time yourself, just a roll of canvas, and again, like that can be pricey off the top, you know. But you're getting a canvas roll that is going to last you like multiple paintings, you know. Which is why I find it worth it, you know. Like you're spending $150, $200 off the top, but you're going to get a number of paintings out of that. You know, like this one, for instance, is one of like, I think probably like 8 or 9 paintings that I'm going to get out of that one canvas roll, and I bought 2 of them, right? But this would be unbelievably expensive to try and get pre-made and pre-stretched, because it would be a custom order, because there's no stores anywhere that are selling canvases that are 6 by 4. You know, you get down here. That might be a little bit too red, so just tamp that down with some white. I need a little bit more blue in that, actually. Yeah, it was fun. We went bowling with my girlfriend's grandparents. That was fun. I don't know if any of you follow me on Instagram, but you might have seen my stories with... and this is another reason why it was so nice to see all the family. My dad absolutely loves Star Fox 64, so I fired that up for him, and, you know, got to play around with that a little bit, and the old Tecmo Super Bowl. We fired that up. You know, it's just very, very nice. Very, very nice. And then going bowling with my girlfriend's grandparents and seeing her extended family on both sides, you know, it's just a very, very lovely, lovely, nice trip. And then trying rock climbing for the first time, I actually was surprised that, because I'm not that good at pull-ups, but I actually had more stamina in terms of like pulling myself up on stuff than I thought I did, which made me very happy. You know, I wasn't doing any of the expert climbs or even intermediate climbs, but we did try some overhang stuff, you know, which was really cool. So Oh, I forgot to mention too, when we went down to China, my sister made a fantastic charcuterie spread with all sorts of meats and cheeses, and she made she made meatballs and pigs in a well, it's not quite pigs in a blanket because that's more like the hot dogs in the crescent. This was bacon wrapped hot dogs. Those were delicious. Those were delicious because she like made them in brown sugar too while they cooked. So that was delicious. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of throwing paint on the canvas, and then I'll pick up some white with my brush, and then we'll kind of blend it in afterwards. You know, which gives you some very interesting textures and very interesting areas of color that you can kind of play around with. Like this white here, that's going to be a cloud, you know. A lot of this is going to be kind of cloudy, you know. So it lets you play around a little more. How are we doing for time? Oh, it's only 7. We've only been doing this for almost an hour. Not bad. Not bad. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. I'm thinking just for the time that it took to prep the palette and everything, I might start the clock for the speed paint a little bit sooner, like maybe like after I load up my palette, or maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll make it 15 minutes. I don't know. No, maybe I'll keep it 10. Okay. So, we've been doing a fair amount of painting, and we're only halfway done with this canvas. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll get through the rest of it yet. We're going to continue working down here. Again, just kind of laying in areas and blocks of color, like so. And then we'll go in afterwards. I can't kneel too long, so my legs are sore. And then we'll come in with some white, and we'll kind of blend it all together. Just like so. Although I am going to need a little bit more blue in all of this, because it's just a little bit too red. We got to mute it down a little bit. my girlfriend used to, when she was in high school and university, she did a lot of sports, but she was especially good outside of paddling. She was especially good at badminton, and it showed today. She's really good. Meanwhile, I haven't played badminton since I was probably 14, but it was a lot of fun. Her brother's really good too, and her brother's girlfriend is good. You know. I feel like I held my own though. I didn't embarrass myself out there, which is about all that you can ask for. Oh, we've got a hair on our canvas. There we go. Got to get rid of that. Okay, we need some more white paint again. Where'd my white paint go? There it is. I'm gonna have to take care of that mark on my shirt. It's the second time now that I've dropped that. Should probably stop doing that, because that is how you inadvertently get paint on yourself. So, since it's New Year's, I was wondering if any of y'all have any New Year's resolutions. I know myself, most of my resolutions are fitness-based. Yeah, most of my resolutions are fitness-based because COVID has affected us all, obviously. And one thing with the gyms being closed and all that, it's been harder to keep fit. And we've been trying our best here, you know. But one thing I want to get back to is I absolutely love running, which is odd, I know. A lot of people don't like running. But I really absolutely adore running. Part of the reason is because like I can run now, like I have the ability to run, but I'm asthmatic, right? So every time I'm able to go for like a nice long run, it kind of feels like me beating the odds a little bit, because I'm not supposed to be able to do that, right? So I love running. So what I want to do is I want to get back to the level I was a couple of years ago, where I was running, like, my favorite distance was the 5K, right? And I would actually like do 5Ks as a warm-up. Like I would run a 5K as a warm-up before I went and lifted. And I want to be able to get back to that level of fitness again. You know? So those are my fitness goals for the coming year. I also want to lose some weight. Like at one point, because I started a weight loss journey years and years and years ago. And at my lowest, well, let me give some context. At my highest, I was 270 pounds. At my lowest, which would have been in 2017, maybe the start of it was either around my birthday in 2018 or it was maybe my birthday in 2017. I'm not quite sure, but in one of those cases, my lowest weight was 179. I got down to 179. Almost 100-pound weight loss, right? And then I got up to like maintaining around like 185, you know. And right now, partially because of COVID and things being closed, and partially because I haven't been keeping an eye on my eating as much as I should, right now I'm right around like 195, right? And I want to cut it off at the pass, so that's also a big part of my fitness goal for the coming year. because I'd really rather not climb back up in the 200s. Like, I'm not interested in that at all. I'm not saying I want to get back down to 179, but I want to get back down to where I felt comfortable with myself, you know. And I'm not quite there right now. You know? And I'm sure anyone who's gone through, like, any sort of goal like that for fitness, whether it's, you know, they want to lose weight or they want to gain weight, or, you know, they want to hit certain weightlifting trends, or they want to run a certain distance, or, you know, whatever the goal might be. I'm sure you all can relate to how I feel in terms of, like, I'm certainly not unfit. Like, I wouldn't be able to do the rock climbing and the working out in the gym that I do now, and the badminton and all that. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that if I was unfit, but I could be more fit, you know? And that's what I want to get back to. That's really what I want to get back to. You know? Okay, we need some more blue. One thing's for sure, when you're working on a canvas this big, you go through your paints right quick. You go through your paints right quick. But that's okay. What's paint for? But to be used, you know? That's the whole point. Another thing I want to get back into is taking my long walks, because I love taking walks, and it's been a long time since I've taken, like, my hour and a half, 2-hour walks. You know? So I want to get back into doing that. You know, you just pop in a podcast or listen to some music and just go for a nice long walk. Don't quite know where you're going. Don't really know where you'll end up. I mean, you stay careful and you stay safe and you make sure that you know how to get back. You know? But there's just something magical about just going. You know? Hey! Ask away. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the raid. Welcome on in, everybody. And thank you for the follow, Ask Away. I appreciate that. How's it going? How's it going? How did your stream go? What were you working on? For those of you who don't know, my name is Soul Commodore. I do acrylic paintings and charcoal drawings. And today we're working on this behemoth. It's a 6x4 painting. We're just laying down some sky here. But welcome on in. I hope you all enjoy your stay. Oh, we got another bristle on the canvas. I want to get rid of that. There we go. Ooh, nice, nice. You got a bunch of art supplies. Very nice, very nice. What did you get? Just out of curiosity. And you tried them out too. That's pretty cool. That's good. But yeah, like Jake said there. Welcome on in, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Copic markers and watercolor. Ah, very cool, very cool. Well, after we're done here, I'll have to go check out your VOD. Because I've said this before, like, because I'm guessing because you got watercolor pens that you're into watercolor painting, and I find watercolor painting fascinating. Mostly due to the fact that I can't watercolor. I'm terrible at watercolor painting. So I love finding people who are really good at it and just watching their process. You know? But that's really cool. I've used Copic markers before. They're really, really nice. Really nice. Well, hey, I still gotta check it out, you know? Because, you know, we're all still learning. That's awesome, though. Also, ink. That's really cool. That's really cool. What, is there any particular subject matter that you, like to do more than others, or do you just kind of do whatever your heart feels like? Ooh, abstract bugs. Interesting. That sounds really cool. Now I definitely have to check out your VOD to see what that's all about. Abstract bugs. What got you interested in that? Just out of curiosity. I want to try and blend this in a little bit more here because it kind of got away from me for a bit there. And anybody who's new here, you might hear some voices in the background. That's my girlfriend. She's just in the other room training her dragon boat team because she does dragon boat racing. They're doing a little workout on Zoom. So you might overhear a little bit of that. She's she's giving them a good workout, making sure that they're all ready for the season once it rolls around again. Hey, that is a perfect reason to do that. You know, you haven't seen something before, make it yourself. I like that. I like that. That's very cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. So, have you been doing art for a while, or is this kind of a new endeavor for you? Alright. That down there is looking pretty good. I might leave it for now. After I do this little bit. And we'll come back up here and lay in some more white. I get those feels. But no, that's good. That's good. Where did my white paint go? There it is. But you've been doing it for about 3 years. Very nice. Very nice. So you're still in the phase of what they would call in the biz an emerging artist, which is a great place to be. You know, finding your voice, figuring out what it is that you like and what you want to do, and just doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff. That's fun. That's fun. And it can be frustrating, you know, trying to get started. But you know, you just gotta keep grinding, which I know is the most useless advice. But really, that's what it takes for you know, artistic endeavors, is just keep trying and keep doing what you're doing, you know? That's awesome, though. I love it when people, you know, put forth their creative side and try to, you know, do something with it. You know, I'd love that. There we go. All right. Oh, you've done some group exhibitions. Nice, nice. No, I would say definitely if you're getting into group shows, like that's definitely putting some effort in. Hey, greets the moon. Nice, nice. Welcome on in. My Christmas was really good. It was really good. How was yours? I'm glad you made it home safely. But yeah, just saw a lot of family, ate a lot of good food. I was saying earlier, this is the most Christmassy. This is the most Christmas has felt like Christmas since my mom passed away 6 years ago. So it was a really, really nice Christmas. It finally like had that feeling again of, you know, just being nice and joyous. But yeah, how was your Christmas? I only realized today that Twitch has a vacation button that you can put in your schedule for when you're not going to be around. I wish I would have known that before, because I would have let everyone know that way that I wasn't going to be streaming for a week or so. But I'm glad that you found your way back. Good, good. Food and family was good. That's awesome. And thank you. It's one of those things, you know, it is difficult. But I'm very fortunate in that I really, like, my mom's a great person, you know, is a great person. You know, I switch between past and present tense all the time. You know, she was a great person, and, you know, she loved us a lot, and she was just a fantastic lady, so I don't mind, as painful as losing her was, you know, I don't mind talking about her, you know, because I need to let everyone know just how great she was, you know. But no, I'm glad that you had a wonderful Christmas yourself, full of food and family. I'm glad Christmas was good for you too, Ask Away. I like that heart emote. That's fun. Yeah, thanks, Jake. But yeah, it was a very nice Christmas. I played a lot of retro video games with my dad. Got to spend a lot of time with my girlfriend's families, like her mom's side of the family and her dad's side of the family. Got to spend a lot of time with her mom and dad, which was nice. And then we're seeing them this weekend. Well, actually on Monday, which will be nice. You know? So it's just a nice time to get together. But I'm glad it seems that you all had a nice Christmases too. So let me ask everybody this. What was your favorite thing that you ate this Christmas? What was your favorite dish? I should probably check to see if we got an ad coming up. I hope not. I hate it when I miss it. Okay. We're good. We're good. By ads, I mean like, cause like I have to run ads now, and I hate it because sometimes I get so wrapped up in the painting that I forget to like schedule a break so that the ad will run not while we're painting, you know. It's really annoying, and I've got no one to blame but myself because I just wasn't paying attention. But you know, I just don't like it interrupting the actual work that we're doing. So. You ate a bunch of things? Well, hey, that's a good way to do it too, you know. Got this gingerbread old-fashioned. Ooh, Jake. Jake, when this pandemic is over, we might come over to where you're living during this time of year if it means that you can get a gingerbread old-fashioned donut. Because that sounds delicious. Oh, nachos. Nachos are solid. Ah, pavlova. Nice, nice. I've never had it, but I've heard that it's very good. I've heard that it is very, very good. But yeah, unfortunately, I've never had the opportunity to try it. Jake apparently has, though. Oh, and for you guys that are just coming in, one of the channel point redeem things that you can do now, I just added it, in addition to an emote that hasn't been approved yet, unfortunately. But one of the things you can redeem now is speed paint, in which when you redeem that, I have to drop what I'm doing and I have to either draw or paint something in 10 minutes, right? So Jake from the Woods redeemed it like early on in the stream, so we finished this little piece. I'm probably going to work with this a little bit more because it's just very baseline stuff. But this was a quick little 10-minute painting, you know, and there's some cool ideas in it that I'll probably expand upon later. But the hook is you can only redeem one per stream, just because, you know, I might make it 2 per stream because, like, we're streaming for 2 hours, 20 minutes working on something else I think would be alright. So I might change that to 2 per stream. Oh, Asker, you're from Australia too. Nice, nice. That's so cool to me that you guys are tuning in from all the way down there. Because I'm in Canada myself. I'm a Canuck. I'm a Canadian. So that's so cool to me. All right. Jake, what are the ashes? Because I'm not familiar. It's cool. This is a very, oh, cricket. Ah, I see. Cool, cool. You know, that is one game that I really have to sit down and figure out the rules to, because I never know what's going on when I watch cricket. I never have a clue. One of these is I gotta sit down and really, Oh, Australia won big, huh? Nice. Nice. Hey, Danny. Welcome on in. You said, Fair. Well, you know, Jake once upon a time tried to get me into cricket when we were in university, and it didn't stick. It didn't take. So I'm glad that it stuck with you. Of your own choice. Ah, well. Good. Speaking of getting people into stuff, I don't know if you all know that, actually, let me check to make sure that this ad isn't going to run automatically on me, because that would make me very sad. Alright. I am going to take a very, very quick break, just like a minute and a half. I'm going to grab a drink. So I'm going to put my story on hold. Just so that I could put up my Be Right Back screen so that we don't actually miss any painting. You know, because we're almost done this base layer, and I don't want anybody to miss anything, so I'm just going to take a quick break. I'll run a quick ad. You know how I feel about ads. Ugh. Just put on an ad block. I don't care what you do. Don't watch it. And because this channel's not about the ads or the revenue or anything, it's about the art, right? So I'm going to do that real quick, and then we'll come back and I'll tell my story. Alright, so we'll see you all in just a second. Alright. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for waiting. So speaking of people trying to get people into stuff, because Danny just said that she stayed up watching cricket on her own volition. It's kind of funny. So y'all know how Taylor Swift re-released her album Red, I think, right? And my girlfriend's favorite song on that album has always been All Too Well. She loves that song, right? She loved it back then, and she said to me multiple times that she could never understand why Taylor didn't release it as a single and that there wasn't a music video. So she releases this new version of of Red. And on it is a 10-minute version of All Too Well. And my girlfriend probably listened to that song a good 3 or 4 times over the course of a day, and then kept listening to it. And when she was done, and this made me laugh so much, she came up to me and she said, "I finally understand what it is that you like about extended versions of songs," because she couldn't get enough of it. It's like everything she wanted from the first song, the original song, and then more, right? And I was like, I'm glad you finally get where I'm coming from, because I love extended versions of the songs, right? I love it, love it, love it. You know, but she always wondered, like, why is this song 6, 7, 10 minutes, 12 minutes long? Like, what's the point, right? But she finally gets it. Like, I remember one time I was on YouTube, and this person uploaded a version of the Commodore's song "Funny Feelings," and "Funny Feelings" is like a, I don't know, 4-minute 45-second song, right? But this version on there was 6 minutes, and there was like an extra like horn loop at the end of it as it was fading out, and there was like just extra vocals and all that. I was like, wait, where did this version come from? Because I'm used to the album version that's only like just under 5 minutes. So I asked the dude who posted it, and he's like, here you go, my brother. So he directed me to the link, and I found them. And it's like, I mean, we're talking about a song that's only been extended by like a minute and a bit, right? And I absolutely loved every minute of that extension. Just because I love hearing, like, when you hear a song fade out, you always wonder, like, oh man, what's beyond that fade? Like, what is it that they cut out, you know? Well, maybe not everybody wonders that. I wonder that. And I certainly did with "Funny Feelings." Because it sounded like the song was starting to get, like, really, really good at that point. Because it was already stellar. And then at that point, it's like, oh man, what else is there, right? But anyway, that's my little thing about how my girlfriend finally understands why I love listening to songs that are 8, 9, 10 minutes long, and are just longer versions of songs that already exist on the person's album or what have you. What emote is that? Oh, I like that. I like that. All right. So in case anybody's wondering, one of the things that I like to challenge myself with painting is I only use 5 colors on the palette. I've got a titanium white, Mars black, cerulean blue, and then cadmium and yellow, cadmium red, and cadmium yellow hues. They're just the hues, so there's not any like dangerous metals in there. But I'm challenging myself further with this here, because all of this darkness and all that is all done without any black paint. This is just red, blue, and white that I'm working with. Because I thought that would be a fun little challenge to see, like, if I can get stuff like dark to the level that I want it without using any black paint. And I just noticed that there is a rogue bristle that has now dried to the canvas that I'm now going to have to paint over this area to fix. But that's okay. Oh. Just kind of blend that in there. Not the greatest blending job in the world, but yes, the rogue bristle. If I had an arch nemesis, the Rogue Bristle is up there, but I would have to say, working with acrylic specifically, it's when the acrylic paint starts to dry in your brush and you don't realize it, and then you're just painting away, and then all of a sudden you just get clumps of paint. Just little balls of paint sticking to your canvas. And it's like, okay. I gotta fix that, and I also have to clean my brush. Which again is my own fault. There's a very simple solution to that, and that's to make sure that I'm cleaning my brush regularly as I go. But my favorite phrase on here is do as I say, not as I do. Rogue Bristle is a good band name. Rogue Bristle is great. Alright, so just putting some more blue paint on this palette. But yeah, I try to restrict myself to, well, I don't try to, I do restrict myself to using these 5 colors. I have the entirety that I've done that the entirety of the time that I've been painting professionally, I guess. Because it's an extra little challenge to see if you can get all these other different hues and all that kind of stuff. And also, it's economical. I don't have to spend as much on paint, which is nice. Just going to soften that up a bit. Okay, we're getting close to getting this done. We're almost there. That's much lighter than I wanted it to be. Let's tone that down. But no, I'm happy that I'm very happy that you all decided to come out and watch this tonight. Or today, wherever you are. I know it's evening here now, but I do appreciate it, especially since I've been gone for a week. Appreciate y'all coming out. I always appreciate y'all coming out, because Lord knows there's like 1,600 other things that you could be doing right now. So it means a bunch to me that you all decide to spend your time here. Well, I am very, very touched that you're here instead of doing the vacuuming. But no, seriously, it does mean a lot to me, and that is fair. I was never a huge fan of vacuuming either. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm glad that I decided to go big. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of traditional art streams out there, which is too bad. Because I do like watching digital art, especially because I'm not very good at digital art. But I do also like watching other people do the traditional stuff. But I'm glad that you found your way here. All right. So we're getting close to being done this little corner, and then we can finish up at the top, which I think that'll be mostly white paint, so it won't take us very long. But so far, I'm pretty pleased with how this sky is turning out. We've got a lot of different shades and depths in it. I am gonna fix this area next time we get together, but we'll take care of that then. Right now I'm just putting more paint on the palette. I think before the next stream comes along, I'm gonna have to get some more red and blue. Yeah, because we're running low. We are running low. So what's funny is actually I wasn't planning on this sky to be this cloudy, to be this full of clouds. This is actually kind of a byproduct of the fact that acrylic paint dries so quickly, because I wanted this to actually be kind of even. But I noticed early on that it wasn't going to stay that way, and I thought, well, let me add some highlights and lowlights and see if we can make this into a different scene altogether. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out so far. Also, I must say, ask away. I'm glad that you stuck around. Obviously, like, people are busy with their lives, so I certainly don't begrudge anybody who raids somebody and then has to bounce. I mean, I've done that just because I have, responsibilities that I have to take care of after the stream, but I want to share some love. But I also, I appreciate that you stuck around, That actually turned into a pretty good, pretty nice highlight, actually. I wasn't meaning for that to turn into a highlight, but it turned out pretty nice. Okay, as we come in here. Yeah, exactly. And I always just appreciate that someone decided to raid, you know? Um, I'm also just glad when the people stick around because, you know, I like to figure out a little bit more about their practice, or if they raid from, like, playing games or something, I'd like to figure out... I like to find out a little bit about what they're playing and who they are, you know? It's nice to have the opportunity to do that. Get to know people. But yeah, you can't keep putting off things that you need to do. That is definitely true. And unfortunately, adult life is just full of just constant things to do. Which, I mean, hey. That's just the way it goes. Alright, let's finish this top up here. So we'll lay down our base color up here in the corner. Maybe down here some. And then we're just going to fill this whole area with white, I think. Some acrylic paint flew off the brush and almost landed on another painting that I have over here. It was almost a sticky situation. Just kind of blend all that in. Unfortunately, I have had the pleasure of cleaning under the fridge. Only because I had to move the fridge to get a piece of food that rolled under it, and I was like, well, I mean, I'm here. I might as well just clean all this. The one thing that I always forget to do is dust, which probably isn't great because, you know, I have seasonal allergies and I have asthma, which, you know, dust isn't great for asthma. Being a respiratory illness and all. But, man, I hate dusting. I hate dusting so much. Although I will say that my least favorite chore, in all honesty, my least favorite chore is mopping. I hate mopping. Although I do remember one time when I worked at a sport retailer whose name rhymes with Sport Check. I worked at a sport retailer. I worked at a Sport Check where the wringer for the mop there broke, and I was, you know, working that day, and there was like someone had spilled something at the front of the store, so they're like, well, we need to mop this up, but our mop is broken, like the ringer's broken. And I was like, okay, well, we got to mop this up. And they were like, yeah, but I mean, the ringer's broken. So I just, you know, the old-fashioned way, I mopped up what needed to get mopped up, and I just, you know, grabbed the head of the mop and I just wrung it out with my hands. And everybody working there was like, "Oh, dude, that's so gross." And I'm like, well, that's why running water exists, so I can wash my hands after. You know, I'm not going to walk around with mop water on my hands. It's not that gross. That always made me laugh. Mopping is the opposite of painting, now that you mention it, yeah. That's true. I never thought of that either. But yeah, that's very true. Maybe that's why I hate mopping so much. Oh, Jake, that was a Sport Check story. But yeah, I'm sure the same thing would have happened at KFC. Basically, there was something that needed to get mopped up. The ringer for the mop at the Sport Check was broken. Nobody wanted to mop it up, so I mopped it up and then wrung the mop out with my hands. And everyone was like, "Oh, that's gross." And I'm like, well, you all are adults. You should be okay with gross stuff every once and again. So I lied what I was saying earlier, where all of this is black, or not black. This is all blue, white, and red. There is a tiny little bit of black there, only because my brush inadvertently picked up some black paint. So there's some tiny little streaks of black in here. So please forgive me for lying to you. I tried to blend them out the best I could, but technically there is black paint in here now. I hope y'all can forgive me. Yeah, we got just a little up here. And we're gonna try to get some of this paint off the brush. And just kind of blend that in like so. I didn't do that very well, but we'll try it again. We almost did it, y'all. We almost made it through this entire stream without me getting paint all over myself, but nope. Not this time. Not this time. Maybe next time. Man. Alright. Yeah, it happens every single time. But we will survive. Okay, so I like how that turned out. You can come down here and blend out a little bit of this some more. The only part of the sky that I'm not crazy about is this area down here, but that'll be an adventure for another time, I think. The next time we get together. Because I am liking how the rest of this turned out. Very much so. And honestly, the ideas that are running through my head for this painting, we might actually finish this painting the next session. I mean, that is quite a feat. Every time I wear white, even if I'm not like painting, like I get something on me. I got this really nice white sweater, and over the course of 2 consecutive weeks, there was a stain on it that I had to get like stain remover on. I don't understand how, but no, I kudos to you, because I would definitely get ink on me if I was doing that with white. But yeah, everybody, this is our painting. 6 feet by 4 feet, like I said. It's a biggin. Let me see if I can move this over a little bit. So there's our bottom. Yeah, it just kind of takes up the whole screen, and that's not even all of it. So this is coming along really well. I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. Okay, so with that, I think the time has come for us to find somebody to raid, because we have to pass the love along, you know? And like I said, I keep saying the next time I do this, I'm actually going to figure out how to share my screen so that you're not just looking at me looking at other people. But we'll figure that out. Okay, so let's get out of here and let's go to Twitch and see if we can find another artist to share the love with. Okay. While I'm looking, just again, I really do appreciate all y'all coming out. It does a person's heart good to see y'all come out and show your support. I really do appreciate it. It's makes me feel good. And I hope you all enjoyed your time here. You know, try to make a nice, chill atmosphere where we all can just sit and relax and just enjoy ourselves, you know? Let's see. There's a person here by the name of Amanda Conda who is doing sculptures right now. I actually follow them. They do sculptures of pets and dogs and all that kind of stuff. Very, very interesting stuff. So, I think we're going to go send a raid that way. I always forget the command, but yeah, we're going to go say hello to Amanda Conda Creates. Yeah. Her stuff is really, really good. Actually, let me just check something. I want to make sure that I'm not... Yeah, I don't know their pronouns, so I'm going to just say they. They're really good. They're really good. All right, so let's set that up. All right. Oh, and the channel is intended for mature audiences, so keep that in mind. Be mature, everybody. But thank you, everybody, for coming out. We will be back here. We'll be back here on Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Glad you all could come out, and hopefully we will see you here for the next one. So, everybody, have a wonderful day wherever you are, whether it's day or night, afternoon, morning, who knows. And we'll catch you all in the next one. All right. Take it easy, everybody.